Welcome back. This is Empower. We focus on people and workplace. We've been discussing about stewardship, and we realize that resources are entrusted to us. And when they're given to our hands, we need to be faithful, we need to do well with them, including people if you're a leader somewhere. And it's good for you to use those resources well. So we continue from where we stopped. We're looking at the benefits of being good stewards as an organization. And one thing that we said is that being a good steward, you end up getting better, more productivity. If it's a business, you end up getting more profit because you're utilizing your resources well, become more efficient. And I think that is very good. But Ryan, sometimes people are struggling with stewardship. Why do you think people struggle?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a couple of reasons. Maybe lack of leadership from the organization.
Yes.
You mentioned already if everyone is waiting for the boss to show up.
Yes.
People then think, hey, it's okay, just to, time doesn't matter. So I think on one hand, you need to lead by example.
Yes.
And show what good stewardship is of your time and your resources. But maybe it's also around us, we see what is acceptable. People have accepted poor stewardship, and you think, hey, it's normal.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at the Bible, the book of Genesis, right from the beginning, it talks about us being stewards of the earth and the things that God has created. God calls us to be good stewards.
Yes.
But trying to do that is difficult. Yeah, I guess in your own time you can be flexible with what you do. But I think if you're working for an organization,
Yes.
You've been entrusted with all these things. I think it comes back to integrity, like we talked about last week. But being open and honest and truthful about how you use your resources.
Yes.
It's easy to get away with things and not use your time very well.
Yes.
But I think at the end of the day, as a Christian, and integrity is part of our life. Stewardship goes hand in hand with integrity, I think. Yeah.
Wow. So people maybe struggle because they're seeing other people doing it. It's normal here. So
Exactly.
Do you think our human nature maybe sometimes because we don't want to be accountable, so we end up not being good stewards because sometimes we want just to do things our own way. And you see, as we said last time, organizations sometimes have strict rules because of the nature of business. Even where the business is not more of safety and very strict rules like aviation, there are things that we must follow. But you still realize people fight with those things. So stewardship is still something else, and people tend to just, after all, I'm getting what I want, so what matters more is what?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's a verse in Colossians, chapter 3, verse 23. It says, whatever you do, whatever you're doing, whatever things you're doing, whether it's cleaning, whether it's running a meeting, doing something when nobody is watching, do it as if you're doing it for the Lord.
Amazing.
And I think that's key. As a Christian, sometimes, hey, it's Friday afternoon, there's nobody watching, I'm going to get on YouTube, spend my last few hours of the day just relaxing. Somebody is watching.
That's interesting.
And the Bible is very clear.
You're right. And I think if you were to embrace that, that you're doing it as unto the Lord, then organizations will be very different. Because the Lord is watching us at any point. So the moment I decide to go to Facebook and I'm supposed to be working, because my boss is not around or they cannot see me, when I realize that my main employer is God, then I'm able to say, it's not time for Facebook. Beatrice, please wait until you go home. Such things. But most of the time, what we fear is our bosses, our supervisors, forgetting there is a senior one who is watching. And so much we struggle with stewardship. And thinking about that parable you're mentioning about Matthew 25, about those stewards, those servants that are given talents, the 5, the 2, and the 1. And this one who felt the boss was just, you just harvest where you reap where you don't plant.
Yeah.
You're not a great man.
Yeah.
La, 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 many things.
Yeah.
And I think most of the time, sometimes we find ourselves there as employees.
Definitely.
We are working for them. We are working for him. What am I getting? So how would you advise such an employee who is struggling? Because sometimes we feel that we don't want to give more because maybe what I'm getting paid, according to me, what I'm doing for the boss is too much compared to what I'm getting. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm supposed, despite that, I'm expected to be a good steward.
Yes.
So, how would you advise such a person?
Yeah, I feel for those people. I mean, I think you have to come back to the verse.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing I would advise the people to do is to not be silent. I hope there's people you can talk to within your organization, whether it's in HR, about those things, for fairness and justice. But at the end of the day, the Bible, and even in that Colossians verse 24, it talks about being servants and not just doing it for your earthly master, but for the master in heaven. So it's a challenging thing though, because if you're not valued, if you're not cared for, it's really tough. It's really tough to come to work with that positive attitude and that mentality of I'm going to serve no matter what. But I advise those people to hold on, and hopefully somebody will see the value that you bring to the organization.
So maybe, for example, Ryan, I realize that my team are losing that aspect of being great stewards or good stewards. As a manager, for example, or a leader, what can I do to make this environment change?
Yeah, that's a difficult one. I think you have to confront people. It's if you're someone like me who doesn't like conflict so much, you like to be easy with everybody.
Yes.
Which sometimes is not what you need as a leader, but if people are not being good stewards of their time or their resources, as a leader, as a manager, you need to confront them, challenge them. And I'm not saying you dismiss them, but you say, hey, I've noticed this, or I think we can do this better, or I've noticed you're spending a lot of time doing this, we should actually be doing this instead. So I think it involves some confrontation, but in a way that is teaching. And guiding rather than,
So I have a responsibility as a manager or a leader to ensure that if I realize we are losing it, we are relaxing it, we are losing the end, so I need to come in and tell people, you know what, this is not the right way to do it. And should someone also opt not to, then the other disciplinary issues comes in. Because I believe those procedures or the policies within the organization should also stand in, should someone not actually cooperate. Because it happens. There are people who just decide not to do.
Yeah, and we've done it as well.
Yes.
But it's all about following, give people a warning, talk to them first, discuss it. If they continue to do it, there's procedures to follow. And I think that's important. But you need to give people also the opportunity to change. And let them know you've seen, and you'd like them to improve. If they continue not to follow that way, there's measures you need to take sometimes.
Wow. And I think also the fact that you're leading is an example, because the challenge comes in if the manager or the leader is not a good steward. How do you instill that in us? We're actually not going to do it. Because we'll be saying, he's telling us to do this, and
he's playing golf.
You see, we also even know on Mondays morning or this day they never come to the office. You know, there's such a culture that people develop, which becomes such a bad thing. You cannot be able to also instill it in other people that you have to be good stewards, you have to respect what you've been given to do. Unless you do it yourself, for us to see, we're going to stop at some point.
Exactly.
Which is not good for the organization, also for you as a person. Wow, exactly. It's amazing. So stewardship, a value that is well displayed in MAF, and I love it. And I pray that God is going to help us. So I know you don't have a lot of time, but I want you to help this young person who is saying, you know what, guest, you're talking about stewardship, but to me, it never pays. Please tell that person how it can pay. An individual, if the organization now, the individual.
Yeah.
Yes, how does it pay? Does it help me as we close?
I think it helps. I think it helps the individual in their workplace. They will feel like they've achieved more. It will help their own self-esteem and their own morale, I think. But as I mentioned in that verse in Colossians, you may not see the reward today.
Now, yes.
But there is an inheritance coming. So I think, and it pays off if you're disciplined in that way in the workplace.
Yes.
You'll become disciplined that way at home, and you'll reap the benefits in your own personal life as well. Stewardship is not just about the workplace.
That's true.
It's about your entire life, being good stewards of the resources God has given you. Yeah.
But those small things matters a lot. Because you can also be a good performer in sitting down and working, but the other things that you're really spoiling. Even the resources, for example, someone has been given impressed to go to somewhere, they're going outside Nairobi, for example.
Yeah.
A good steward should take care of that, not just to fake receipts or something like
totally.
that.
Yeah.
Do what is required, or say, this one I'll eat whatever is possible, because after all, it's company's money. So such things.
Exactly.
So, wow, your last word as we close the program.
To be honest, I think the best word is from the Bible. Is it okay?
Beautiful,
I have it
read,
here. I have it
that's
handy.
okay.
I've mentioned that verse a few times. But from Colossians it says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters.
Wow.
Since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving.
Amen.
It's not your employer you are serving, it's the Lord Christ you are serving.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
It was great having you for
been a
the
pleasure.
last two programs. Actually, I look forward to see you again.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for taking time out of your tight schedule to be here with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. This has been Empower. I believe that we're going to be great stewards of what God has entrusted us to in our hands. So I wish you well. Have a blessed week. My name is Beatrice Chuchu.